DreamHack Open is brought to you by Intel, Corsair, MSI, and Monster Energy.
The Swedes of Fnatic return to take on the Giants of Big in our next matchup of the day, as it's all about the points here at the EU RMR. Of course, joining me to break this one down, the lovely Potter and Blair. Blair, I know you were joining us in the green room to be watching our first match of the day, but you're excited to be back up here on the desk.
Absolutely, we're down to 3 more best of 3s, and I know this game's not really as high stakes as the first game we had earlier today and the later on game which we have between Astralis and Heroic, but you know what? These are two teams I really like watching. Big versus Fnatic, two very different styles of Counter-Strike going to be displayed, and of course, you don't want to lose out on this RMR point. So, am I excited? Yes.
Nice. I'm very excited to be getting into this one. Of course, unfortunately, we don't have Maui up here to be championing Fnatic, but he'll be watching in the green room. Yeah, you know what? We can use you as the Fnatic hype man coming into this one, Blair. I think we need to take a quick recap, however, of our current playoff bracket as it stands. Of course, this is for the upper and lower brackets. Of course, we won't be finding Fnatic and Big in this, but we can see exactly where they were knocked out of the competition, Christine. Of course, both in that same space of games. Unfortunately, Heroic taking down Big, and then NIP taking down Fnatic. That was probably one of the biggest upsets of the tournament.
It definitely was. And man, Big, they find themselves having one last hoorah here versus Fnatic. Of course, they're out of the tournament, but man, you still get those points as Blair mentioned. So a lot on the line still, a lot on the line for the big guys.
Yeah, of course, there is a huge amount on the line, as this will be the battle for 5th to 6th place in this matchup. And of course, those points will be going towards the upcoming Rio Major. So it'll be how the teams actually make it and what stage they make it into that major when it happens. But I think with this, we can start to talk about the map veto for this one. Blair, I know you had a few ideas of how you thought this one was going to be panning out.
Yeah, I feel this is going to be one of the easier ones, right? Big's going to ban out Train. Fnatic, I was thinking they might go with a Vertigo ban, but considering Big did struggle massively against Heroic on that map, I'm thinking they're going to be banning out Nuke here, and there you go. It's one of the maps where they're not that comfortable with. Picks Inferno for Fnatic, 100%, and I do believe Mirage should be picked here by Big, because it's a map that Fnatic have been looking a little shaky on. They did get that one win over OG, and as a decider, here's what it's going to be favoring Big, because Big should be banning out Vertigo here, because of the loss against Heroic. Dust 2 should be banned by Fnatic. You don't want to play that map against Big, leaving Overpass, a map which Big, they rarely ban, they rarely pick. I don't know if it's going to be Overpass, but if it is Overpass, it's going to be heavily favoring Big, because that's a map that they are very good on, very deceptively, because they don't pick it, they don't ban it, someone just sneaks in there, and they seem to have a ridiculous win rate. I think it's like 10 or 9 wins out of 10 times played in the past 3 months, which is ludicrous if you look at it.
This veto did not go anything like I imagined, actually. I had Fnatic vetoing out that Dust 2. They hardly ever play it. They always shy away from it. And not only that, it's Big's best map. It's the map that they pick first into any series, anytime it's available. So to see them lean away from that and still stick to their guns on Mirage, I guess it's a confidence thing, but it was absolutely an opening for Big, I think, to kind of capitalize on Fnatic's weaknesses here.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. I think we need to focus on Inferno, obviously going to be the first map of the series. And as we're saying, I think Maui aptly put it a national treasure when it comes to seeing Fnatic performing on this map, Christine. And we can see it just reflected in the number of times they've played it. We've seen it in almost every single series. I think actually every series at this tournament that Fnatic have competed in, and their win rate yet again. So what is so spectacular about Fnatic on this map?
Man, it's got to be Flusha, right? We always talk about Flusha. He's up to his own shenanigans, but man, he looked so fluid on this Inferno, busting out that secondary AWP, and it's been an absolute game changer for Fnatic. He's controlling all of that banana area, and the utility damage, the utility work, especially on Inferno. Now, it's not the best on all the maps across for Fnatic, but specifically on Inferno, Fnatic absolutely know exactly how to manipulate the rotations, control the banana, make all of their opponents pay the highest banana tax rate that they can. So it's a good map for Fnatic.
It is indeed. And of course, we want to hear what you guys are saying down in the chat. Make sure you're getting those hashtags in for your votes, because of course, we'll be recapping them before we jump into this next best of 3 series. But I think we should start talking about the side of Big as we come into this Blair. And as you were saying, 2 very different styles we're going to see deployed here. What are we kind of expecting from Big coming into this one?
I think Potter touched upon a topic which I wanted to kind of break down a little bit more, right? These 2 teams have very different styles. Like, you're talking about Big, a little bit more structured, more cohesive unit, so to speak, you know, and they also have a pretty solid CD side. While on the other side, you're talking Fnatic, they basically shine on the attacking side. Talking about utility, Fnatic, they have the best utility damage in the entire tournament. First is ENCE, but ENCE played, what, 4 or 5 maps? So I'm not going to count them into this equation. Fnatic have a much bigger data sample to work with. 17 maps played, the best utility damage. That's going to be fantastic. On the other hand, Big have the best flash assists in the tournament by far. They were so good with the way to use the flashes to go for these executes and whatnot. So it's going to be a great battle, and I feel like Inferno is going to be great. And speaking about the players, we have to mention tabseN. He might be having a quiet tournament. I mean, he has been having a very quiet event so far, but when it comes to flash assists, he's the best in the entire event. So even though he's not getting the frags here, Freya, he is definitely enabling and setting up his teammates for success.
Yeah, 100%. Another player that I did want to touch up on that we haven't really spoken about too much so far in the tournament is actually k1to, because we saw him having a huge performance on Mirage against Heroic, Potter. Unfortunately, they did end up losing the series, and that's what sort of catapulted them down here to be facing up against Fnatic. But him as a player, I think it's kind of interesting to touch upon him, because he showed us his real true form in that map. Unfortunately, couldn't replicate it across the other 2.
Yeah, couldn't replicate it. Pretty streaky for k1to, which is surprising because since he joined this big lineup, he's been just on the up and up. A lot of his personality coming out, a lot of his play style, we can absolutely see it. He's the one that busted out that double AWP for Big when we saw Big having their successful run over the summer. That's when k1to really started to shine. Now, it's been streaky, but he's been sticking a lot more to his guns with that rifle work and finding a lot of the spacing entry kills for the Big side. And those flashes certainly help. But I gotta say, if the entirety of Big are losing out on their defaults, losing out on their spread out map control, that's when you see k1to kind of falter. Not as autonomous, I think, as probably a Xantares or a tabseN on those side of things. So definitely, I'm looking for k1to to feel a lot more comfortable in that server.
Yeah, and I think that could potentially be a challenge when we're talking about the side of Fnatic. And it's been those individuals that we've been talking about time and time again, Potter. It's been those players that have been coming out, showing us their stuff, doing that Fnatic expletive, as Blair rightly put it. But of course, I think we've kind of seen them all coming to their own. Even Golden, managing to get in our top 5 places a day. They have been looking pretty solid individually.
They absolutely have. And we mentioned it, this match, they're kind of already out. They're only playing for that 5th place. The pressure is a lot off on all 10 of these players. So I'm expecting the Fnatic to come into this series and have a lot of fun. Now, usually, especially when I think about a team like Heroic, for instance, I kind of start worrying when I see them having too much fun. I start to kind of cringe a little bit. These guys should take it a little more seriously. But for Fnatic's side, when they're having fun, that's when they're playing their absolute best. The pressure seems to be lifted off Broland. He starts to be taking a lot more risks, and JW and Flusha, of course, they're just going to do JW things. And Crims, he's been Mr. Consistent actually for the Fnatic side, at least in this tournament so far. So I want to see a lot more of Crims. I want to see the ice in his veins and him just taking no prisoners.
I know somebody that you wanted to focus on particularly, Blair, was Broland, just in terms of his impact that he's had upon some of the matches that we've seen so far here.
Yeah, when we talk about this Fnatic T side, one thing we have to mention is how they've been getting a lot of opening kills, and it's only because of Brolin, right? You're talking about overall, when it comes to opening duels being won, Brolin is third, and he's placed behind Zaiwu, and I do believe it's Nachi. You switch over just to the T side in particular, that's where Brolin shines. He's by far, he's 1.38 rated in opening duels on the T side in this tournament alone, and Robs is a distant second at 1.23 after having played only 4 maps. And then you're talking about Brolin with a sample size of playing against Vitality, OG, North, Astralis. So this guy is going to be absolutely key when it comes to this Fnatic T side. Doesn't matter what map. Dust 2, Inferno, doesn't matter. This guy is a magician when it comes up to opening this bomb sites.
Yeah, I think we can continue to keep along that storyline of Brolin as we take a look at our head-to-head here, Blair. I know you pitted him against Zantares for this one. Why are we comparing these two players?
Well, I mean, both the players are going to be instrumental, right? For me, Brolin, like I just explained right now, he is going to be absolutely such an important member for the side of Fnatic here on this T side to make it work, to get the win on all the 3 maps, potential 3 maps we might be seeing here. And Zantares, because, well, he is Zantares, right? He's the 3rd highest rated player in the tournament right now, unfortunately dropping down because Darwin has been on a meteoric rise, knocking down Zantares from that 2nd spot. But he is still a beast that you have to contend with. This guy, man, Potter, like that aim of his, it just makes me sick to my stomach. It's ridiculous. Like, you look at Zaiwu makes it look easy, right? Because of how fluid he is when it comes across the placement and everything. Zantares just 180 taps you. It's not right. It's not fair. It's ridiculous.
It shouldn't be legal, should it? Of course, we'll be seeing him take you to the stage in this next game. And with that, I think we need to begin cementing our predictions for this one. Potter, who are you going with?
I'm going with Fnatic here. I gotta carry on the torch for Maui, carry on the torch for Bleh. I'm sticking with Fnatic. I do hope to see Big loosening up a little bit. I want to see Tabson back into the mix, back on the very top of that scoreboard, like where I want to see him. But I'm sticking with Fnatic here.
What about you, Bleh?
Ooh, all right. Looking at the maps, okay, I really think Big's gonna potentially take this. You know, Mirage is a map they're very comfortable on. Overpass, they've looked nigh, like unbeatable actually whenever this map comes out. So it might be Big, but I believe in a Fnatic bullshit. I think they're gonna pull it off. I'm gonna go with this here.
You said it at the beginning, you're going to be the hype man for them. Now Maui is absent. You know what? I love a split death, so I'm going to go with Big for this one, just to keep things nice and competitive. And I'm hoping down in the Twitch chat it's being competitive as well. Let's take a look at the scores on the doors in our Twitch chat results.
Big never lose.
Oh, they actually don't. Oh, it's close
actually
though.
Close.
This is the most competitive thing that we've actually seen when Big's been in the mix. Like the Big fans, you always get out there in full force in the chat. And of course, we absolutely love to see it. Hopefully, you'll be backing me up in this prediction game. But I think with that, we can begin to get this show on the road. Of course, this is, it's do or die time for the points coming into this. Of course, this is the EU RMR event. So hopefully, Fnatic and Big will be taking the most points home with them for the upcoming major. And it's coming up after this.
It's the battle for 5th and 6th place. It's going to be Big taking on the Titans out. I honestly think Big are going to have a difficult time here against Fnatic. Fnatic have been looking pretty good in the tournament. There was a reason Maui Snake predicted them to win. He isn't just mental. And I think Fnatic coming into this one are the favorites. I think Big are very, very good. But right now, I think Fnatic just have the edge.
And we have seen that NiP are clearly a team that are competitive, right? It wasn't just that one upset they got against Fnatic. Yep. They just competed against Heroic. They're looking good. So I do think I agree with you. Fnatic should probably be the favorites, but I think it's going to be a fun series, whatever the hell happens. seconds.
Yeah, it's a fun one, right? There's a bragging rights mostly on the line, $1,000, 156 RMR points on the line as well. But for the most part, it is the bragging rights and getting a higher placing in the tournament. Big are on the CT side to start things off. Fnatic over on the T side. Utility going to be used up. Going in towards this A-bomb site. And Crims charging through the balcony early on. Zantara's trying to hold on. He's had a fantastic tournament so far and love to round it out with the final game looking solid. It's the first headshot onto Crims. Bomb has been planted and Fnatic are deep in the A-bomb site.
Stacked on the site itself, looking to get these crossfires going for the post plant, and Brolan has already done just that. 2 instant headshots landed. Now Big all retaking from this same side, but it's not going well for them. They get completely chewed up in that short position. And what a start for Fnatic, just landing shots all over the place.
Yeah, just coming out swinging. Fnatic said in the pre-game interview, before they really started getting going in this tournament, Crims was interviewed and said that, they've changed up a little bit, Alex. In coming into this event, after some of the string of bad performances from Fnatic, they tried to change it up and they put more emphasis on having fun. Where better to have a little bit extra fun than in this matchup, right? It's 5th and 6th decider. And you just come in here swinging, trying to finish out the tournament with a bang. And if Fnatic are in this situation, I feel like it's going to be deadly. But seriously, we've seen some scout antics from him in the tournament so far. He gets off to a good start.
Searson is so good with that scout at times. He can definitely get you those early couple of kills that can really help you win the round. Searson's going to remain active, rotating back to B with that scout. Boosting up one of his teammates as well. Fnatic have got early banana control, so that's something that they can use to their advantage. They can try and fake towards this B site. You can already see on the minimap, one smoke from Big has just been spotted on that B site, while the rest of Fnatic go back to top mid. And it is quite a passive A site hold, Dinko. So Big aren't going to get this information that quickly, and Fnatic aren't even going to give the game away. They're not going to use any nades, so Big won't really have the chance for the quick rotate here.
Tizian just holding with the deagle. Molotov gonna go down to his position. He's forced away. At 37 seconds, Tizian swings into the fire. Unable to take a kill. Flusher has received a good bit of damage though. He's down to 33 and Fnatic taking lots of damage. Good utility usage. I mean, they don't have much utility to play with, but they've used it well. And now with 23 seconds left, here comes the attack from Fnatic into the A-bomb site. But Zantara's from the pit has a good position. It's 2 and Tizian following up with a double as well. Fnatic shut down, not a single kill for them.
Wow, Big made that look easy on the crossfire. 2 players standing side by side on the A site. Zantara's putting shots to the body, and Tizian putting out some shots to the head. And that smoke at long really just completely stopped Fnatic in their tracks. They had to run all the way back to short, and you could see that Fnatic didn't have the same sort of nades ready for that short push. They didn't have the same ability to really use their nades effectively. And some great shots from Big get them the round. And now Searson's going for a run boost down mid, almost landing a shot as well.
Pretty scrappy start for Fnatic, actually, coming into this. He had a good pissed around, but not getting a single kill into that second round is a little ridiculous. So I'm going to try and recover in this one. They've invested into the Deagles, the Tech 9, but Big have so much to play with. 2 AK-47s, an M4A4, an MP9, and a Scout. So not really looking at too many problems right now for Big. Their CT setup so far, 4 players in the same bomb site, 1 very passive towards the back of B. Now, Keto is getting no information. He's not even peeking the coffins. As soon as I said that, he does transition to new box. It's not going up. Molotov as well. Another play into the B bomb site from Fnatic. They start to send the players in. Flashes up. Keto caught in the open, and that has allowed the B bomb site to go in favor of Fnatic.
Ooh, Searson, the first responder, only has the scout, so Brolan with that recovered M4 can spray him down. That rifle already doing the damage, Dinko. Another kill for Brolan, and all of a sudden, Big are done for. They have to save.
The 4-man setup on the A bomb site is too much of a risk, right? At that point, if you're going to be playing that, you have to have banana control, I feel like, or at least have a player sort of gathering info. Keto, when the initial attack was coming in, was playing behind the coffins. He wasn't standing on top of the coffins, he was behind him. planted. He had no chance for information. He decides it's the right time to go and toss some utility. So he goes back and throws the Molotov and the smoke, but he gets caught. He gets caught in transition back to the coffins. There's too much risk there involved for Keto in those repositions. He doesn't have any information. He has no idea what's going on inside of Banana. No one's close enough for Big to make that full rotation back to the B-bomb site either. So as soon as one player goes down, the rotation is so slow that gives extra time for Brolin to pick up the M4, and we can see how much work he does with it. It's just impossible to do anything there based on the gamble from Big. And that's why it's called a gamble, right? Sometimes they don't pay off. And this time, Fnatic coming right back into things with a force buy.
Yeah, and I think maybe Keto can get away with being solo B there against a gun round, because it's less likely they're going to rush you like that. But against pistols, Fnatic have the freedom to make that play of just going quickly into the B site. They can go through that molly that was deployed. A shame for Big that they lose that round, but a back and forth start to the game, and what could be a fun one. 2-1 lead for Fnatic, but Big aren't giving up without a fight. They're already looking for the Banana control in this very round. And Citizen's been boosted up on that half wall on Banana. So now Big are going to go for the same again. But this time, they have the early info at Banana. And that's why this A-stack should work much better for them.
Yeah, this is where it should be working out. And Tabson, fantastic start in the round. Oh, he gets caught, though, trying to jump into the pit. And now Xantares on the AK. That is filled from Xantares, the double kill. And the third coming in from Tizian from the incinerator. It is just Flusher alone. What a back and forth we've got here. Fantastic start into this one. And Flusher will trying his best, but Xantares secures 3k. What the hell is going on here, Alex? Crazy back and forth happening already. It's hard to call which way this one's going to go in the early game, because right now, obviously, this back and forth, if it continues this way, if Fnatic somehow were able to shut Big down in that round, that would have been them picking it up easily, right? That would have shut the economy out for Big, but they've won that round, and that should mean, well, I thought we were going to see a lower tier buy from Fnatic, Alex, but they pulled out the Mac 10s. They've got the Deagles. Of course, it's Fnatic. They're in the 5th and 6th decided game. They're going to be going for this.
Oh, it's not going well for them to start with, though. Tizian's got the spray down mid. Gotta say as well, Dinko, I would be a little bit scared right now if I were Fnatic, just because Xantares has that AK on the CT side. We just saw him get those 2 kills with it. As you said earlier, he's been in great form in this tournament. He's the 3rd highest rated player in the tournament, even though Big haven't been winning all their games. So that goes to show that he is clearly been having a lot of impact for this Big roster. Start of this round, though, it's Tizian who gets the early kill. And at least Fnatic have this control up Banana. Again, though, this time round, Big do have 2 players here. They both have the weaker weapons, though. All 3 rifles for Big are on the A side of the map. It's just the Scout and UMP on B. So these weaker weapons are going to have to step up here for Big.
Well, Keto on top of first orange as he gets 1 kill on the hole. Now Steerson's under pressure. He's got 1, but he's overrun by Brolin, who's currently, quietly, having a fantastic start. 7 kills on the board right now. Crim's yet to get anything done, but he's still alive and has a chance to step up now. 2 Mac 10s spraying through the smoke here, Crims. Trying to see what he can do, but it's nothing found through the smoke. Now the pressure starts to mount for Fnatic. Still a man down. The rifles coming in against him, but it's Crims with a Mac 10 with another headshot for Fnatic. Brolin on the deagle. Oh, secures the second as well. 4 kills in the round, and Fnatic, the force buy comes right back into things, Alex. And we are still here with no team picking up 2 rounds in a row.
Ooh, great shot there on the second one. Brolin got a round of applause behind him as well for that round.
9-2. 9-2 right now, Alex. We're in round 6. He's 9-2.
Oh, now Xantares is pushing down mid. This is just going to be all action, Dinko. If this is going to continue, we're going to have a fun one. Xantares up close, gets the first, not the second, though. It was actually Searson that stole away that first kill. And, oh, Golden with another kill. It's just fights all over the place. Keto goes down, and the B site is lost.
Craziness at the start of the round, but unfortunately for Big, it doesn't go their way. The B-bomb site's completely empty, and finally, we'll have a team picking up 2 rounds in a row. Fnatic will go up to 4. I have to say, this is certainly looking like the early signs of a very entertaining match of Counter-Strike, Alex. Zantares charging down middle with an MP9 at the start of the round, Brolin popping off. We just had some crazy back and forth force buys, but finally it looks like Fnatic have won the war of attrition. CT side, it's very expensive to be on this defensive side. Crazy thing is though, Alex, even though you don't really usually want to see it, coming into this next round, if they save both of these rifles, if they save the AK and the M4, I see a world in which Big just go for the force buy. I don't want to, but I do see that world.
Definitely a very real possibility with how this game has started. And with Searson having that extra money in the bank. Like you said, I would prefer them just to save at this point, but who the hell knows? This game has been a little bit crazy to start with. I love how I don't know exactly who it is behind Brolan, but they look very comfortable. They are just relaxing over on the Fnatic side. 4-2 lead for Fnatic though, and finally, we get a more standard approach to the start of this game. We get a low buy. Searson and Tizian have those 2 saved rifles. Searson is going to be solo holding B. It's another hefty A stack from Big. And I've got to say, so far, Fnatic have been finding quite a lot of success towards B. They've shown quite a willingness to hit this B site. This time, it's obviously just a couple of saved rifles, but Searson is going to have to step up.
Searson has to show up with his M4. Big have gone for the smart call, finally ending this madness. So the 2 saved rifles, we'll see what they can do here.
They pushed like a mid, Dinko.
Yeah.
Big no.
Yeah, Big are so aware that this is going to be the full B hit coming through right now, but what can they hope to get out of it? Keep an eye on this rifle in the hands of Searson. It's still down the bomb site. Keto with a P250 only. That Molotov will force them out. Oh no, Searson's been spotted. Gone back to dark. Keto falls as well. Now Searson is gone. He doesn't have his bit to play with. And the kills come in for Fnatic. There should be a clean round for them now. AK-47 in the hands of Tizian. Still there, so that's a save option. And Zantares is absolutely nothing. So he'll be hanging around in the ruins. Seeing what he can pick up maybe on a player. Gets overzealous here. Golden running right around the corner. He will find the headshot. And Tizian on the other side of the map with the AK. Of course, just trying to save this one into the next round. I want to get that into... I feel like you want to just toss this as Zantares. Although Tizian is a very solid player, he'll want to keep this AK going into the next round. But mainly from a viewer perspective, I'd love to have seen Zantares. But it doesn't matter. He doesn't save the AK. And the round is won by Fnatic. 5-2 up. They've grabbed control of things. A crazy back and forth finally put an end to. And a timeout coming in from Big. They know their buys ahead of them.
No shades for JW this time as well. A very important talking point, Dinko. That's where all good analysis comes from.
We should really see, look deep into the analysis on that one. Just see how much better his performance is when he uses the glasses in comparison to when not.
Were you ever one of those people who brought like a good luck charm into your exams at school?
No.
There was a couple of those people.
Yeah,
I never really...
I did have, when I was watching Wimbledon one year, I think it was the year Andy Murray finally won, I did have a lucky crisp packet that I had in my hand.
A lucky crisp packet?
Yeah, but yeah, so
wow.
He won like a quarterfinal or something, and I was eating a bag of crisps, and then I just kept that packet, and he won the whole tournament. So, yeah,
so when you got a good grade in an exam, did you walk in with a lucky pen? Is that how that works?
No, I didn't. No. It's just that one scenario
so crisp
in my life.
packets can be lucky, but pens can't be.
Exactly.
Okay, we learned.
Just that specific one.
I appreciate that. Good information. We're back into the gun rounds, and Golden has just decided that he doesn't need to buy a rifle, Dinko. He's just such a good guy. I think this is the Just Harry special right here. He's going Deagle only, saving the money so that he can get those drops later on in the game. And who knows, it might work for him. Golden's currently leading the charge in towards Boiler.
Yeah, I do feel like the problem here, though, is Zantares' position is so damn strong. This Deagle would have to land a ridiculous shot. And even if it does that, it's still got to deal with Tizian. So not fancying his chances here. Flashbang comes in. That actually forces Zantares away from the position. And now Tizian falling back as well. He's caught in the open. That's the first and the second on the Sprite to tuck himself back into the A bomb site. And this is fantastic from Big. A brilliant hold here on Inferno. And this is something when Big were on their purple patch of form. You're dominating, top of the world rankings, looking real solid for quite a few weeks. Something I love to watch was their Inferno A hold. I feel like it was just brilliant.
Looked great there as well, right? A really solid hold just with Tizian lining up these first 2 kills. This was golden as well, swinging as the second man with the deagle. So a bit unfortunate in that sense, but tabseN on a nice angle can just quickly jump up and reposition. I think from Fnatic's perspective, though, they've got to be going for this banana control because we've seen just how aggressive Big can be going. And in that very round, syrsoN had pushed all the way down. He had all the information towards B, which allowed that A stack. So I think Fnatic really need to just have this default at the start of the round, make sure they don't lose too much map control. syrsoN comes dangerously close to an early fight there. And this is that map control I was talking about. Deep smoke down banana from Big, but this time Fnatic have some players close by, so Big aren't able to get that early ground.
Big's utility usage has been really solid. You can see in the previous round that the utility usage really cut off Fnatic. Their attack was completely halted moving forward. It gave them a lot of isolated duels. The defense was able to hold on very easily. And now delaying Fnatic yet again. T-side have plenty of utilities still available though. And they'll be using it up. Molotov into the cubby. Flashbang binds off Boiler. Goes around the corner to short. And Fnatic, the bomb is still back on T-stairs. They're trying to sell out this attack, but tabseN runs in front of the smoke. As soon as that incendiary fades away, he will realize no one's actually pushed with it. No one from Fnatic is actually pressuring this A bomb site. Instead, they're going back over towards B. And the 2 defenders have not moved. It's k1to up on top of the boost. The first kill's there. Can he get the second? Of course he can. syrsoN backs him up, but the 2 kills have come through. The Molotov burns away k1to. The kill from JW delivers the kill back into the round. 2v3, still favoring Big right now, but the bomb is down.
Crimson JW both have to play from the bomb site here as well, and I think Big will have a decent idea that is the case. tabseN boosted, but JW spots him early into a 2v2, and both Big players are going to group up in towards Ruins. Crims rounds the corner, but he's not ready. It's JW who has to land 2 shots. He gets the first kill, but there's no way in hell he's getting the second one. Tizian makes sure to trade, and Big just about do enough on that retake.
Now they had the man advantage into the retake, and you can see how important that was for them. They barely get through, but nonetheless, a good recovery from Fnatic. They do lose the round, but I just want to say how likely it was looking that they get onto that B bomb side. It just wasn't looking likely at all. You had those initial shutdown kills from k1to and syrsoN, but the fact that they get the kills back in from Crimson JW is very impressive from Fnatic, but they still lose the round. Big picking it up. And now they have a chance to send the money from Fnatic into the bin.
Well, that's a nice start as well. Nade lands onto Brawl and a second nade to follow through. Good bit of damage early from Big. As you were saying earlier, this utility has been pretty on point for Big so far. This time, Fnatic have been able to take the banana control, which is something I was talking about previously. Big were getting away with a lot of aggression in some of those earlier rounds. So I'm glad that Fnatic are going back to this. Now, they're all grouping up towards B. It's tabseN and k1to on the B hold. And for this tournament, those 2 players are actually the 2 lowest rated for Big for this tournament. That's a bit of a surprise, but let's see if some of them can step up here.
tabseN under pressure, just got the first kill. He will burn away to the Molotov, though. And now the attack from Fnatic. It's JW down to 23, 14 HP for Brolin. And k1to about to go for the spam, a little bit lit to it. JW has already crossed over, but they're aware of this possibility, and JW will lose the duel against k1to. 1 bullet would have been enough, and now Brolin and Crims moving forward. At least a couple of bullets, shall I say that. And now Brolin very low in HP. Its second oranges will be swung. k1to with a second kill. Now Crims under pressure. Multiple players running into his crosshair. Just too many to handle. And it's Big getting another retake on this B bomb site, tying up that scoreline.
Yeah, I'm loving how Big are playing towards B here with these retake setups. They're using their nades on the retakes really wisely. Again, flashes over the top, mollies for some of these angles. k1to just makes sure to sit back, stay alive, and then Fnatic are never comfortable in this post plan. They don't want to sit on the site because they know that the A players probably still have nades. They try and get aggressive, and k1to's 1 step ahead of JW. He wins that fight. It's just very good awareness of the situation from Big. They make sure to just stay on top the entire time. Always felt like they were in control of that round, but Fnatic are going to up the pace in towards A.
Oh, Tizian behind the corner. He'll get 1 kill onto Golden. JW with the headshot. Now 3 versus 4. A man advantage in play for Big. And it's trying to be followed up upon, but Fnatic are winning the duels. You can see Big with a very relaxed approach to the CT side have given a chance over to Fnatic. Still a very small chance with all the players still being on lower tier weapons and low HP as well. But Keto catches the first in the back. It's Flusher, the second kill on Crims. And JW stuck alone, and Seriously is aware of his position. And a 6th round added to the tally of Big.
Another couple of important kills for Keto there. Just again, kind of sitting in the back lines. That time he was obviously initially rotated away from B, but he gets back in time, gets a couple of important kills to make sure Big remain in control. It's actually a big timeout ahead of this next round. Xantara is getting that water in. Stay hydrated, everyone. He's got a nice big bottle as well, Dinko. That's what you want. If you're going to be sitting at your computer all day, just get a big bottle of water, stay hydrated. That's my top tip of the day.
Thank you for that, Mr. Hawker.
Yeah, it's a new segment I'm trying. I don't think I'm ever going to try it again.
Well, it worked, at least the first time. Well, wake me up when October ends. Big has played Inferno 6 times this October and won it just once. Ugh, that's not a great statistic. Not very fun fact for Big at all.
There's quite a few close losses in there as well.
Yep.
Real heartbreakers. A 15-19 loss against OG, 13-16 against G2, even 11-16 against Vitality. A lot of close ones. Xantares, though, calm down, my man. Oh, the flash is so good. Tizian sets him up for 2 easy kills.
Yeah, that's huge from Xantares. If I'm correct in calling this as well, the game that Big won on Inferno was against Godhead, right? That came right down to one of those millisecond defuses as well. But they were able to pick up still. Hasn't been the most fantastic showing from B, but they're putting up a fight here. 6-5. Yet again, Fnatic have found a way onto this B bomb site. Will they be able to get this bomb down and play the post plan out though? They've currently set up with a man advantage yet again into the retake. The B defense, they may be going down, but they're doing enough on the whole to constantly give the man advantage to their team. So Big have been able to make this retake work a lot into the B bomb site. Golden coming off the bomb site, now turning his attentions back into Banana. But Big will be taking their time. Utility still available and still be using it up. Clearing up, limiting all the positions. And now Flusher at Pillar with the first headshot. Can he get another one? Pushing in from Ruins is Tizian. And Flusher stepping up with a double. JW now needs to stand tall. And he's got the first. Crouched here at pool. As Xantares crosses into the open, it's an instantaneous headshot. And a 7th round for Big added to the tally. I have to say, these retakes, they're coming close, but Big keep on winning them.
Xantares is just having massive impact in this game. The aggression down mid, the retake kills as well. I don't even see him. I do not even see JW. Clearly Xantares does.
Yeah, that's nasty. Yeah, I mean, you do have glasses, Alex, so maybe put those on. Maybe would have seen him.
That's true.
But Fnatic here with the AKs out finally, utility available. Let's see what their call is. They have obviously seen a bit of a weakness towards B. They feel like they can take that bomb side. We've seen a lot of heavy pressure there from Fnatic. But they'll be slowing this one down, playing out the default, a little bit of pressure in towards top middle. And currently here is Pearson with the first kill.
Flash over the top. Tizian is able to peek with it, and it's another kill on the board. Make it a 2nd for Tizian and a 3rd on the round for Big. They go up to a 4v2, and Tizian takes the AWP. Oh, I'm loving the confidence from Big right now. They are just fighting every single time, and Fnatic can't handle it. Flush is in a 1v4. I mean, I know Flush is good in clutches, but he doesn't even have the bomb. There are 3 CTs sitting on that position. He's looking for a shot through the smoke, but Big aren't going to give him the fights that easily.
This is more like it from Big as well, though. Like a full shutdown coming in finally. That B-bomb site has had to be retaken quite a few times, so they'll happily take one of these rounds where Tizian pops off and gets 3 kills. Now switches out to the AK-47 for the end of the round. The open the hands of Tabson. The Flusher just biding his time in middle, hoping a play from Big will walk into his crosshair, but they're giving him a lot of respect, but Tizian might just get the perfect timing on the peak. He cannot tip the kill, and now Flusher caught between 3 players, and he will go down. 8 rounds to the board for Big.
I'm loving that we're getting to see Tizian be a little looser as well.
Yeah.
Normally, more of the supportive element on the squad, but he's just fighting.
have to
taking
say,
the AWP even.
I'm loving that this match, you know, it is a 5th and 6th decider game, so I'm loving that the pressure's kind of off a little bit. It's more about the bragging rights, so we get to see some of these players kind of freed up a good bit, and it's really fun to watch them let loose and just go for some of the wilder plays, some of the aggressive peaks. This is where we get to see some of the just raw ability come out on the server, and so far it's been very entertaining.
Definitely not a bad... Oh, wow, okay. Flusher with the kill on the Dig. We've got to calm down for a second because Keto is going to have to make sure he holds this. He goes back for more. Almost gets that second kill, but he's almost out of ammo. Keto having to run away, just about gets away with his life, and Searson has arrived on the rotate.
Tizian elsewhere has got a kill. Searson will go down without a single frag. So it's again all to Keto. He'll try and hold this B bomb site. He's done so much in the round, but he's on 7 HP and he gets peeked, but the headshot swings out, takes down Crims, and it's all on JW. 4 HP, caught transitioning from the pistol to the M4. And it's 9 rounds for Big. So coming into this one, Alex, that I predicted Fnatic to be the favorites, especially on Inferno. You know, they've been looking real solid here, but this has been just a loose cannon this entire game from both teams, but Big just looking more poised on the individual level over on the CT side, at least in the first half.
Definitely. 9 rounds on the board. We've talked about how Inferno is very balanced as a map normally now, but you could argue it's even slightly T-sided at the pro level with how it's been playing out recently. So for Big to get so many CT rounds is great. They've done a great job with a couple of individual plays. Those retakes have been great. And this time, Searson is... I thought he was ready, but he's not ready enough. Brolan rounding the corner. He had a really good start to this game. It's good to see him land another shot there.
Yeah, quiet it down a little bit, but nonetheless, he has a chance to try and step up again. But the peak from Tizian swings around the corner. Good for one, but Crims with the immediate answer back. 4v3, man advantage still available to Fnatic, but Santaras, who has been very confident so far on the CT side, going on a bit of a wander. You'll not find much apart from a bullet to the head. Crims taking him down, and now Tabson alongside Keto, trying to win the round for Big. It's looking like his stick almost surely locked in, but Keto has picked off one. Crims with another headshot. That's 3 into this round for him. Had a bit of a quiet start to the game. Started this round with 4 kills, and has 3 in the round alone. So just Keto, 1 versus 3 with the AK-47. Coming out of the apartments, Golden looking the wrong way, knows the players in pit, misses the headshot, and now this looks like it is done. Fnatic with 6 rounds at the half. What a crazy half of Counter-Strike. It's time for a short break, and we'll get even more in the second half. Well, a first half of Counter-Strike that certainly delivered on one level, Alex, and that was the crazy Counter-Strike coming in, the individuals letting loose. That's what we hope for heading into the second half. More of the same. It's Fnatic on the CT side and immediately Brawlin pulling out the Julies.
That's right, Dinko. We've got 11 guns on the server. Dooley's busted out by Brawlin with the Kevlar as well. So they're really giving him every chance to do the damage with those 2 guns. Definitely remember Keto having that huge highlight play with the dualies on this very map over at Banana. That is where Brawlin is currently playing, but Big have got so much ground in towards spawn here. You can already see Fnatic having to respond. Golden's coming back towards CT. And this could get uncomfortable for Fnatic if Golden goes down, which he does.
Yeah, Golden going down is a big problem now for the defenses. He is that player that was cutting off the rotations. He was the gatekeeper to the B-bomb site, and now Crims holding to the A site. Bomb is on the back of Taps, and good peek from Crims. Still gets one out of that position. But the defense
What is going on the map
weak
right now?
Well, it looks like you've got a player middle with the Julies here. Brawlin goes down to Tapson. This is just a mental round, but JW tries to swing out short. Zantares is there for the headshot. And like it was meant to be, Big looking to pick up this pistol round. Flush is not going to be ready for Kia Shirley with the headshot. There's a player that seemed in every part of the map in that round, Alex.
Yeah, getting a bit crazy there. Everyone just kind of pushing wherever they want, it feels like. Zantares getting this opening kill at CT, though, really just throws the round into disarray. I think that's where Fnatic start to lose track of everything. And you can't really blame them, because they just have such little information at that point. They've lost the spawn. They've lost that player towards B. Brawlin tries to push Banana. He gets caught out. It just never really felt like a round where Fnatic had the information to really get the right read on the situation. Big win all the fights. And now Fnatic, well, they go for a full spy in this follow-up round, but they've already taken a good bit of nade damage. They've done some damage of their own, though, onto Searson and Keto, but the 2 AKs of Tapson and Zantares still looking strong for them.
Oh, through the smoke, Tapson with a kill on JW. Flash up around the corner, now Big starting to put pressure out towards a long position. Rotation coming through quickly from Speedway. But I don't think it's going to be enough at all here. Brawlin under the pressure from multiple different positions now. But he has got out of the bomb site. And this does isolate a couple of these fights as Brawlin gets one out of that. I thought he was going to walk away with nothing there. After a couple of whiffed bullets. But he does eventually recover it and get at least one. Now just Golden, left alone in a 1v4. It's just been the 1 kill for Fnatic into this second round 4 spy. So we won't be seeing that crazy back and forth that we see at the start of the first, Alex. That one was a mental start to the game, really.
Yeah, Big not wasting any time this time round. Tizian, oh, the pre-fire around the corner. Golden, not very happy with that. Understandably so. Tizian, though, much happier with it. He's looking sharp at the start of this game. 18 kills for Tizian. Yeah, again, it's just really fun seeing, some of these players loosen up. As you said, we're really getting to see some of these players who you traditionally think of as more supportive players at times actually just take fights and show their skill and show how good they can be and show that it's probably more their roles than anything that causes their poor stats. That's a nice nade stack down mid. Golden gets the kill with it, but there's not that much more left for Fnatic, just the USPs.
Tabson with the double kill. Golden and JW go down. And now it is Crimson Flusher into a 2 versus 4. Just the USPs in play, of course. So it's easy pickings for Big, who now get themselves the 12th round. Running through the apartments. Keto not wanting to waste any more time. It's 12 rounds for Big right now. And to be honest, Fnatic haven't shown us a whole lot of what they're capable of in Inferno just yet, Alex. I think it's been a very quiet showing from them, but finally, we're going to get to see the rifles out. We're going to get to see the buy-in for Fnatic on the defensive side for the first time. No open play, of course, so just the M4s. And not a whole lot of utility, but it's good enough. Only 2 flashbangs on the entire defensive side, though.
Yeah, focusing those mollies for Banana to begin with, and those nades, which we might see do some damage. 2 mollies put down onto Banana for Fnatic. 3 CT stacked towards B to begin with, and Big have been forced away from Banana. So that's the outcome that Fnatic were expecting or hoping at the start of this round. The issue for Fnatic is they've basically used all their nades in the first 30 seconds here. So if they do lose a bomb site, especially without a kit, they're going to have a really tough time. They've got to make sure they lock down this A site. They cannot afford to play retake here.
Walking up to a short. Brawlan with the first headshot. tabseN falling victim. And Brawl will look for another one with this gap to play with as well. But Big have so many players still poised towards this A bomb site. Fnatic have a good hold though. And the first kill is Crims. Tizian picks up a trade kill, but Brawlan's still alive in the pit. That smoke is still allowing him to wrap around. A brilliant flashbang. Fantastic place from Brawlan. And it's 7 rounds for Fnatic. I just love that cheeky play from Brawlan from the pit.
He's definitely the MVP of this round. Good shot onto the first player.
Look at this.
Flash. Uses that smoke. Yeah, and especially after being in that molly, that's basically the only play he can make. But because he's got that flashbang already, he can actually get away with it. Great round from Brawlan. He's definitely been the shining light on this Fnatic side so far. I'm already going to see Crims putting some early nades on Banana. There's still a buy from Big, remember. That last round, they made sure to keep some money in the bank. They had a Mac 10 in there even, so that they can get the full gun round into this next one. Fnatic, though, again, using a lot of nades on Banana early, and it's paid off for them. They've got the control, and they've nearly got the kill through the smoke.
Yeah, it's just going to back away from that one. I have to say, that was one of the flashbangs out of 2 that they had in the last round as well. So, good stuff there from Brawlan. Flusher has been tied down already. He's 58 HP right now. JW positioned towards short will actually bring himself back and play from the A-bomb site itself with Big sending players out long. JW has repositioned but misses the shot. Now it's Golden's turn to try and light them up. It's a first kill, but that is all he will find. Tizian with the immediate headshot in reply from the Big swing. That's his 20th kill so far on the server. And they're just going to make a beeline to this B bomb site. Flusher, the only player over here, has spotted one down in towards CT. And Sindai will try and hold them off, but low HP here, Tizian. Don't walk into the fire. He'll walk close to it and still takes down Flusher. Keto holding off the flank up Banana, but 3 players swing into his crosshair. And now Big need to be aware of this. 2 players extremely low in HP and 3 players from Fnatic coming up through Banana.
They're all just sitting behind the smoke. They have some nades of their own, but it's not going to be easy for them to get back into this bomb site. 2 kits in play at least, so they can afford to waste a bit more time, but the Molotov about to clear out one of these close corners, and the smoke for CT starts to push. Tizian nearly dies to that nade. Tizian still waiting patiently, sprays down the first. tabseN and Tizian fighting together, and tabseN's got one from above. That crossfire was really nice from Big, just using those different angles of elevation, and tabseN even hunts down the final man. Fnatic not allowed to get away with anything there, and that double stack in towards Oranges does the damage.
Finally get to see tabseN light them up there. That's definitely a really good sign. Obviously, we had some quiet performances from tabseN in the tournament, and you don't really want to be seeing that. So maybe he can go out with a bind, get a lot of confidence back in. If he can dish out the damage against Fnatic like this. Obviously, both of these teams will be competing in the SIN tournament a little bit later on in the year as well. So a little teaser for that in the future. Nonetheless, JW pulling back. Going up to the balcony. Currently, Fnatic don't have the best of weapons to play with. And right now, Big. They've got that 13-7 scoreline. So they'll be 3 rounds away from victory on map number 1. Fnatic have yet to really get going. I think the first couple of rounds are looking good in the first half. But since then, it's been the big show. And it's been fun to watch these individuals all pop off. Keto looking down in towards CT spawn. Boost coming up from Fnatic. Golden getting JW into the elevated position. Tries to sell the 1 players there. Turns the smoke down as well just to slow further. And there's 50 seconds left. There's the last piece of utility used up by Fnatic as well.
I've got to say, the fact that Big have been able to turn Inferno into a more brawly map here, and they've been able to win the large majority of the fights, that doesn't bode well for Fnatic heading into Mirage, heading into Big's map pick. Mirage is definitely a map where we can see this similar style of play come through. I wouldn't be surprised if Big try and do similar stuff that they've done here. Keto's already got that first kill, and he's just rushed into the site. I think he might have got run boosted there. It was hard to keep track of it, but either way, Keto's got the 2 entry kills, and Fnatic are already in trouble.
Trying to get back into the pit. Bomb finally starts getting planted with just enough time, really, to get it down. Zentara swings out, and JW is picked off. Just Flusher and Golden left alone. And of course, Big looking at a 14th. Fnatic will have better weapons to play with going into the next round, but it has to be flawless if they want to win in regulation. Right now, it's not looking likely. Big have been looking so poised so far. He's having a bit of fun as well. You can definitely see what the approach is on the CT side, especially. The Big have just let loose today. So the pressure's kind of off, right? They're not going to be competing for the tournament win. It's all just bragging rights to this point, placing higher in the tournament. And right now, Big doing a good job at just lighting them up on an individual level. Fnatic haven't really got going just yet. They have to try and change that right now. Maybe this double up setup, that could change the tides.
Flusher and JW picking up the AWPs into this round. Molly goes down early and the smoke doesn't arrive in time, so Flusher has to play a closer range angle. Searson's already here and he's trying to land some shots through the wall. Nades from Fnatic not doing too much damage, but the mollies have at least kept Big at bay on Banana. And Fnatic realize they've probably just got to fall back here. Big also using some nades over on the A side of the map, though, so they're really forcing Fnatic to fall back. They're really forcing Fnatic to play passive. Crims is biding his time. This could be good.
JW is going to go down. The Crims, can he light them up? He gets 1 kill from the Cubby. That's not good enough. And now we've got 4v3, still pulled back by Golden, but the kill from Keto on the other side of the map is good, but the swing up top mid with a bomb, and that should give the round to Fnatic at least close enough, but Keto still with a chance, still just under a minute left, and the 2 remaining players for Fnatic are low in HP. Brolin goes into the apartments, 13 HP on Brolin, 7 for Golden. It comes down to whether or not they can spot out Keto, would be going back through the apartments. Still have to recover that bomb. And Molotov is the only piece of utility he has left. He needs this instant kill on the Brolin, and he's got it. Now repositioning yet again. Expected a potential flank from Golden, but 30 seconds left. Keto has to get a move on now at this point. And Molotov in the boiler could be the perfect call. It's going to force Golden into the apartments, and Keto now has a window of opportunity to pick up that bomb and get it onto the site. He has to commit to A now, and he's gotten the long way around. This does allow him to take fights in different angles, but Golden is just going to hide up in the apartments. Keto taking a safe plant at the back of the site. Golden now holding the cross back, and it's the immediate headshot from the AWP. Keto nearly plays it perfectly, but Golden still wins out the round for Fnatic. It's an 8th on the board.
Nice to see a smile on Golden's face as well after that round win. Yeah, unfortunate for Keto there in that he tries to molly that boiler position, but I think because Golden had made the move slightly sooner than Keto would have expected, he didn't realize that Golden would have pushed all the way into the apartments, which is fair. There are just so many angles that Keto's got to be aware of in that spot. I think apartments is one of the last spots you really check there at that point, so unfortunately for him, it won't work out. The Big won't mind too much. They're still 14-8 up. And these mollies down Banana and down mid won't do enough because Searson's got 2 kills on Banana. He wants more. Flusher finally deals with him. And okay, JW's got another kill back for Fnatic into a 3v3.
Oh, this AWP is in one of the weirdest positions, but this might work for JW. He doesn't get away with his life. If there's any AWPer to pull that kind of position off, though, it would be JW, but even he gets punished in this scenario. And Big answering back immediately after the round lost. It's 15-8 on the board. Big to map point here with Inferno.
Yeah, this was 3 mollies down Banana and mid for Fnatic, and yet still, Searson is able to just split the difference, find that spot in the middle of them and get 2 kills. I think Fnatic probably were hoping that they could nade stack that position, but it just didn't come in time. Searson got those 2 kills, and he's got the spawn for Banana again. We might see more AWP battles early. Okay, not this time.
Tizian close by with a Mac 10. Walks around the corner, gets 1. Zentara's as well doing good work, and he wants another one. A second kill picked up, and that's probably enough to win this map now. Big so far ahead. even in this round. And Searson with the AWP is going to be hard checked. Golden with a headshot on the Deagle. Flusher trying to get over from Library. He might get this kill. He's close to it, but not close enough. Tavson picks it up and secures victory for Big on map number 1. Looking good for Big right now. The pressure's really off. The individuals all showing up, Alex. This has been a fun map to watch.
Yeah, just really enjoyable to see Big loosen up a little bit. They're obviously still utility because these teams were both really good and they were both still using team play, but Big get the win, and we'll get to see how they can do on Mirage. But first, we're going to go ahead and throw to the desk.